Habang gigil sila sa brut-brut pao, eto chill lang nakapisan. Habang gigil sila sa brut-brut pao, eto chill lang nakapisan.
What up, loved ones? What it do? Spotty Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're into real shit only, watch this video. Yeah, man. I got the big homie, big bouncer from West Side Islanders, Long Beach and shit, man. You know what I mean? Dropping by, spitting game, and lace us up about the real deal from the OG's point of view from back in the days and shit, man. Hey, to those who don't know, big bro, introduce yourself.
Well, my name's Thomas. They call me Bouncer. I was from West Side Islanders. I grew up in the '80s in Long Beach my whole life. Um, I'm Japanese and white, but there ain't really no Japanese in Long Beach, so most of my homies were like Filipino, Guamanian, and Samoan.
Oh, that's what's up, man. So how was it like, man? Because in like we just said, there's not too many Japanese, and you're half. And how was it like growing up right there in Long Beach? What was your childhood like?
Well, shit, it was kind of hectic because I live with my grandparents. Like my mom's white, my dad's Japanese, but like my mom was from Longo, my dad was from Montevilla, so I kind
Oh,
of grew up in the gang culture.
yes, sir.
Um, I remember I didn't even want to be a gamer. I remember I should ride my skateboard and shit, but I moved to like a certain neighborhood like when I was like around 12, and it was mostly just Filipinos and Guamanians, so we used to just skateboard and stuff. I remember going to the store and we still used to get jumped and chased by like the little local Mexican gang, and they'd be like, "Are you from this gang?" We're like, "Nah, man, we look like gang members, man. We're fucking like skaters and shit, man. We're like 11, 12 years old." But then after a while, just kind of getting victimized and shit. After a while, man, you get sick of that stuff, and you kind of wind up turning into what you didn't like at first. So like a lot of my friends are older brothers and cousins were from gangs, so they're like, "What you gonna do about that? You gonna let these dudes keep beating you up and shit?" And so eventually we kind of just all got jumped into like around like junior high school.
Damn, bro. What you're saying, I kind of relate, and I'm imagining right there, like back in Long Beach, people. It's not a secret. People heard about discrimination and racism towards Asian, and you're Japanese, and you have to live there every day. So but how'd you find your homies? Because you said your mom was from Longo. How come you didn't ended up joining Longo instead?
Because I'm like my own man. Just because my mom or my dad is from a neighborhood, like a certain neighborhood, don't mean I'm gonna get into theirs.
Yes,
It was
sir.
just based on who my friends were and
Oh,
the circumstances that were going on. You know what I mean?
yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes.
uh, I remember when I got actually like talk shit to my mom, like, man, fuck your homies. She didn't care, she didn't care at that point.
Damn. And so I was gonna ask you, OG, because where did all the hate or the racial tension and racism is coming from? Because we're supposed to be just living in the same neighborhood. Just because we have a different race, I don't get it. Do you know, or can you say from your point of view?
All right, well, from my point of view, it was gangs, bro. The gangs are what brought on the racism. I don't think it was necessarily just racism like that. Um, I have my own perspective. My perspective was like this. East Side Longo, right? They were the biggest Mexican gang in Long Beach. But they didn't get along nobody. They didn't get along no Mexican gangs, and they didn't get along no Asian gangs, right? And
Oh,
so, but then West Side Longo, they weren't all the same. Like West Side Long only had like three enemies. They didn't get along with East Side Long. They didn't get along with West Coast Crips, and they didn't get along with Islanders. Now they didn't get along with BP, but they didn't really like beef like that. But see, there's a lot of rumors talking about like how Asians were the racist ones. It's like this, bro. If you have a gang and let's say you from like Longo, right? And they don't get along with no Asian gangs. I'm pretty sure it's easy to start developing a mentality like fuck these Asian motherfuckers, right? Because they're the ones always killing your homies. It's just like everyone else. So it's easy to develop that mentality if you don't get along with them. You don't really hang out with nobody. You don't have no friends of that ethnicity, right? But like you can't really say that on our side because like we got along with BP, Body Forward. We got along with Body of Small Town. We got along with Weemans, right? So
oh,
we never had a mentality of fuck Mexicans. We have a lot of Mexicans for our neighborhood. We had a mentality of fuck Longo though, easily. So
damn.
like I
Yeah.
let people are going to claim whatever they want to claim. I let a person, hey, these are the facts. You use common sense. If you don't get along with nobody from that ethnicity group, and this person you get along with a lot of them, Come on, man. You're not gonna hang out with a gang of cholos and then diss the race the same day. That don't make no fucking sense.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. So what you're saying, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell like this, I just whoever wants like if you're in the county jail, you're locked up, obviously people don't want to admit certain things, but I just tell people if you know me from fucking juvenile hall, then you know all my homies, like all the dudes I kicked with were like dudes from Weemoss or dudes from BP or just neighborhoods that get along longer. If you know like Longwood shit, you're cool with me.
How
You know,
about
so I can't
how about mid city stoners? I heard of that back in my time.
that's LA though. That like we don't really have no beef with LA gangs.
Oh, okay. I thought it was there from
Mhm.
yeah.
Now we had beef with just basically just Longo and then a couple other Asian gangs like Santanas, Local Boys. That was it. Like, you know.
Oh, okay. They had Satanas in Long Beach also?
They had them. They were just for a little minute. They're like old school, like from the '80s, more like they had like things called Siggy Sigma. They're all like fraternities, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then Satanas broke off from that. Then it turned into Local Boys, LBS. So and then they kind of just died off.
Oh, okay. Damn,
But
bro.
we fist fought them. We didn't try to shoot each other really.
Yes, sir. Man, so damn, so I can already imagine growing up in the hood, hanging out with your friends and they're of course out of loyalty, all your friends' enemy is also your enemy now and shit because
Yeah, of course.
those are your friends. I kind of understand where you're coming from. Did you guys you mentioned juvenile hall. What was it your like the things that you guys were doing that had led you into going to like juvenile halls and shit like that? Did you go to YA too?
Yeah, but I was into stealing cars.
Oh,
I
okay.
just like to get G rides. Yeah, we get G rides and shit. Sometimes we didn't even do nothing with a G ride. We just drive around the hood or hit up in them or do beer runs or just stupid shit. You know, we didn't make no money off. We just steal cars to drive around. We're 13, 14 years old. You know.
Yeah. Damn, that's what I was doing too, man. G rides too.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing, just wilding out and shit, man.
I have an OG homie named Mongo. He's Mung, and he taught like two of us how to steal cars. And after that, it was a wrap.
Yeah. Me too,
Yeah.
man. I stole more than 50 cars in my career back then before
Yeah.
gangbanging. Yeah,
Uh,
I feel you. All right, so bam. Wait, so you experience, of course, but while us wilding out and fuck the police and stuff like that, you ended
yeah.
up, going to juvenile hall. How was juvenile hall like? Like, did you have to fight your enemigos right there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I'm a clown, bro, so I get along basically everybody. But just do so longer, really. Like I don't. I think a couple. I got in a fight with two Bloods before, just off some stupid shit. But other than that, it was just do so longer. Like I went to camp, got out with one, and then I went to camp a second time, got out with one. So and then in the halls, I mean, it's on site. You have to get out with your enemies, but it wasn't really too rough. It wasn't like no I never hit a dorm where there are eight of them. There's only me or nothing like that. I've always hit whether there's two of them or one of me, and it was whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So, damn. So anyway, of course, we're not going to be teenagers for life, and you ended up,
Yeah.
getting with that age. Did you still was active on the streets and then ended up going to county jail or prison? Did you experience that?
Oh, yeah. I think, man, I remember, bro. I set myself up for failure, bro, because the second time I went to camp was in '92, and I remember telling myself, man, I ain't coming back to camp for no bullshit. Man, I ain't going back to jail again. I ain't spray painting no fucking walls. I ain't stealing no cars. I said, if it ain't a murder, bro, I ain't coming back. And 6 months later, bro, I'm in jail for murder.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's
You know, it's like
crazy.
I think about it, bro. I didn't give myself options. It should have been the opposite. I should have said I ain't shooting nobody. If I go to jail, I'm gonna steal a car. But it was the opposite, bro.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. But what you know how people would say like the Asians in Long Beach, they're doing all the shootings at the innocent kids and shit like that. Well, like the rumors, a lot of people say that's fucking bullshit. What do you think about that? Is that true? Like the Asians are shooting up like Mexicans and kids?
Look, I can't speak for everybody. I know in my neighborhood, we didn't shoot up motherfucking kids, bro. Like, look, this is the cold thing, right? Like, if a person really breaks it down, bro, we emulated the black and Mexican gangs. They were the founders of that, right? So everything we did was emulating them, right? And sagging the pants or big dickies or whatever it was, we took their style on. We didn't really have our own. We weren't like Chinatown, like, where all the Asians are like got their own style. We grew up in Long Beach where everybody was just around each other. And so it's crazy because we hear all these rumors like that we did Asians did this, and that's bullshit because ironically we fall by the essays rules. The essays rules were like you don't bang on nobody with their mom or dad. You don't bang on nobody with their lady. You don't fucking shoot at houses or none of that shit, right? And so we stuck to that code. The code thing is they didn't. So
Oh,
it's like West San Luis, bro, they shot up like four different of our houses, right? They shot Muhammad Kino's house on multiple occasions. They shot up the St. Nicholas house. They shot Muhammad Rader's house multiple occasions. And like the only thing we ever did, I remember we went to Sniper's mom's house from West San Luis because like his mom did their name, and we hit up on the house with spray paint. Like
yeah.
after they did a drive by on Muhammad's house, kind of like letting them know, like we know where you motherfuckers live too. But we just kind of knew like don't do what they do because as soon as we do it, we're gonna get green lighted or some shit like that. You know what I mean? They're gonna go tell
Yeah.
somebody that what we're doing. So we just, and plus we didn't believe in that. We looked like, damn, man, why you shooting at the homies' houses for? But they didn't follow their own rules. And it's crazy. We stuck to their script and they didn't.
You know what, OG, it's crazy. It's crazy that you're saying that because I was doing time in the PN2 in the system, man, and there's been a lot of rumors, and of course there's always two sides of the story from but the side that I was hearing from is that supposedly when well, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just it's a one-sided thing, is that when the Longos ended up going to court, what happens is they show no respect. They justify their snitching on the Asians. They show no respect by snitching on the Asians at court, pointing the fingers at them, saying we don't gotta respect this Chino, so we just snitch on them and stuff like that. We don't gotta go by the rules. And it's crazy. The reason why I'm saying this is because you just mentioned the Mexican mafia is coming up with all these rules on the streets, no shooting at your family, no shooting with those innocent kids, stuff like that. But they turn around and do the exact opposite. It makes zero sense. And then they're yeah.
Look, I do like this, right? People could speak all that. They could talk. They could speak about rumors. They could just speak, right? But I speak on facts. Um, I'll tell but like I said, I don't know what happened with Asian boys or rascals or anybody like that, what they did behind the scenes. I can only speak for my neighborhood. Like I tell dudes from Longo, you tell me which one of your homeboys are in jail for murder that we snitched on. There ain't none. They
Oh,
killed my homeboy Peanut. They killed my homeboy Big Peanut, rest in peace. Nobody went to jail for that. They killed my homeboy Little Wicked, rest in peace. Nobody went to jail for that. And that's all. They killed two of my homies, but that's it. But none of them went to jail for that. So we ain't never snitched on nobody. But I know when I went to court, Shy Boy came and testified against me. Rusty came and snitched against me for Longo. I got transcripts.
hey.
My homeboy Angel, when he stabbed this fool, I can't remember his name, but he stabbed him at like old ass liquor store. It was off Easy, called Easy Liquor. He stabbed him in the morning before school. Angel was arrested before after school. So they snitched on two of us, and then my homie Angel, he like one of my homies when I was fighting my case, they lit the same dude up that was snitching on me. They didn't do it because he was snitching on me. It just happened they caught him again, and then he snitched on him too. My homie Angel took 16 one halftime. So my whole thing is like this: before motherfucker just talk about rumors, you tell me who got shot, who went to jail, and who snitched. If you can't do that, you're just talking. I'll give you names, numbers, the years, which incident it was, and who went to jail. So until someone could do that, they're just talking, bro.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I feel you. I mean,
That's how my appeal. Huh?
yeah, what do you call this? People may appear to be dumb, But they're not that dumb, man. People know the business, the real ones and shit, man. I mean, they just judge for yourself, whatever, dog. You know what I mean? Because being Hollywood is different from real life and shit, man. You know, so
Yeah,
I get you, I get you, man. You know, I was in the system too. By the way, you was in the system too, right?
yeah. I
For how
got life.
long?
I got tried. I was 17. I got arrested for murder and 2 attempts, and I got tried as an adult. I got 26 to life. Went to prison,
Ooh,
and I did 23 years. I went in 17. I got out when I was 40.
damn. Which case? For the attempted murder, and which area is this? This is in Long Beach?
Yeah, it was due from the west side. It didn't happen on the west side, but actually happened next to the old drive-in movie theater on the east side. We just happened to spot them in traffic, and a lot of people went to drive-ins. A lot of shit always happened at that drive-in. So
Eh, that's crazy, man. So what year was it when you first hit the county?
the county was 93.
Oh, how was it in 93? How was
Yeah,
that?
it was cool until TRG got the green light. And then the fucked up, see, this fucked up. I like so. Look, TRG got the green light. There's like all these different reasons. I think it was because they had a fobby ass dude that was on TV, and he was like, "Fuck them Longos, fuck the Mexican Longos," and he just spoke and said the word Mexican. I'm not trying to give him no excuse, but he fucked up. He said something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe he just a fobby. He didn't know English that good, but he said it, bro, and they caught the light for that. Now the thing is, we didn't have green light, but it went from TRG, then the green light went from then to all Cambodians, and then it went to all everyone from Long Beach, and then it went from all Asians. And the reason that happened were a few reasons, right? So like what people understand is okay, let's say you get a Cambodian dude from Long Beach, from TRG's in there. There's gonna be other Cambodians that ain't gonna let him get jumped just because he's Cambodian. They could be from other neighborhoods, so they get involved. I got along with TRG. We got along with them real tight. And so it was like if a dude from TRG wasn't in my dorm, I'm relatively straight. But if a dude came in, I'm like, fuck, I ain't gonna let him get jumped, so we're getting jumped together. And that's every rascal I ran into, they could vouch for that too. And so I think it was just so many other Asians getting involved and then dudes from like, and they say they were ranking. I'm pretty sure there's some dudes from TRG ranked out, but I seen a gang of dudes that got jumped that weren't from nowhere, bro. They were just Cambodian or old men. So like I said, it went from TRG to all Cambodians, everyone from Long Beach, just to all Asians. Because once you put on all Long Beach, that's stupid. Because now you're gonna get there's too many races in Long Beach. You got Filipinos, you got Guamanians, you got Laos, you got Thai, and so now when you put on everyone, there's always gonna be those other races in jail that are gonna get involved anyways.
Oh,
Because we're like Mexican dudes. When we go to jail, we leave our
yeah.
gang shit to the street, man. It's all about our race. So another Filipino, they ain't gonna let Filipino go to jail. They're gonna get involved.
Yeah. We're not gonna leave no homies behind. We were just raised that way and shit, man. Like,
But don't get me wrong though, there were some they had some dudes that were enemies, like TRG enemies, that they didn't want to get involved sometimes. Like I run into them, they're like, let's no, I don't want to smut no certain gangs up, but let's just say let's say TRG had other Asian enemies. There were
yeah.
times they're like, man, fuck that dude. We don't get along with them anyways. I'm like, what? Why do?
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. They
So,
got
but
that.
what can I say? They killed each other's homies, so they have
Yes,
their own animosity,
yes, sir.
you
Yes,
know.
sir.
So
The street mentality and shit. I feel you on that. Yes, sir. But it's weird. I mean, realistically, the Mexicans, they're not gonna go up to an Asian and ask him, "Hey, are you from Long Beach? Are you Cambodian? Are you from TRG? Oh, that's where you're from? Mando." You know what I mean? They just like what they see the
well,
Chino,
no,
it's just fucking pinche Chino, dog. You know what I mean? Like
well, well,
on
look, I
site.
don't look at that. I have to be honest, right? No, they hit me up, like they hit me up asking me where I was from and shit, and I didn't have no problems. But if two or three dudes from Long will hit the dorm, then they're trying to like manipulate and see what they can do. You know what I mean? And they get along with them, they're the same thing and all this kind of shit. So then there were times where they were able to manipulate it where then they'd jump me though.
Oh,
But who's to say no? I ain't got nobody else. I'm like only one in the dorm, or there might be two of us. So they don't. Do you think they give a fuck about two people?
okay.
So and then there's times though there's times with the black dudes who want to back us up, and so then And then they talk shit about that later, like, oh, you guys went to the blacks. So, man, the black dudes don't, you guys already beefing with the black dudes. The black dudes see some Asian dudes getting jumped. Black dudes said, fuck that. Let's get their back too. So then all of a sudden now, 10 years later, oh, we run with the blacks, we kissed their ass. Motherfucker, shut up. You started the beef. You did all this shit, and enemy of another enemy is gonna be their ally. So what, motherfucker just supposed to stand there solo and just get jumped in every single dorm I go to? That don't even make no fucking sense.
Oh shit. So damn, so some of the blacks just voluntarily just wanna jump for the Asians and shit.
One's for Long Beach. Now
Uh,
I won't say like no, not necessarily like Los Angeles because there's really no Asian and black dudes didn't really like hang out in Los Angeles too much, but like Long Beach, yeah. Because I knew you're always gonna know people. Like I know dudes from 20s or Insane or West Coast, you know, from the street.
Oh, okay.
I know dudes from BP on the street. But
Yeah.
only thing is they essays have a different get down because they have big homies, they fall under one. So they have a structure where they have to do what they're being told. You see what I'm saying? So I don't really hold no animosity towards the dudes from BP that really didn't have my back, or we bonds that I was like, damn, I know this motherfucker from camp. I backed his ass up in camp. He got jumped, but I understand their plight. They live under rules too
Yeah, yeah,
that aren't on. So maybe back then I didn't like them, but I understand now. I get why they did.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't like the rumors. I don't like when they're saying everybody was racist. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, 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 for real.
I mean, my mom was from Long, my dad was from fucking Montevideo. I got two brothers. One was from V&E. One was from Little East Side. They're all fucking Southerners, bro. And I kicked with my brother on the street. So how the fuck
Yeah.
I'm gonna be racist? That don't make no sense, bro.
Yeah, yeah, they just been making
You
up
know,
shit. Yeah. I
you
feel
know.
it, man. I feel it. Damn. So, you know what I mean? So you're half white, half Asian. And
Yeah,
then
half Japanese.
you was in the system and shit with the
Yeah.
Asian Islanders. How was that? Did you experience any
Well,
discrimination for not being 100% Asian or
in prison, no. In county jail, though, like let's say I'm like so like when the Asians had a green light, right? Let's say okay, when they come in, a police see Asian, they just snatch them. Hey, come over here. You're gonna go right here. And then they say it's PCW. How you PC up when the cops like snatching you? Come over here, you go in this tank. All right, cool. Well, like there's always homies like me that might be half Mexican, half Filipino, half white, half Samoan or whatever, right?
yeah.
And so we're walking. I ain't gonna lie, I look at the cops, I'm like, please recognize me. Motherfucker. They don't even see me.
I'm Asian, motherfucker.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
say it though. I ain't gonna say it like, hey, I'm Asian, get me off the line, bro. But I should be looking at him like, look at my eyes, motherfucker, right? But I'd always get missed, or always me or different homies get missed. And in 1994, there's like about 9 of us that were always going to dorms, going in and out the hole, getting jumped. After a while, we're like, fuck it, I'm gonna start getting off on these motherfuckers first. So I might be
Oh,
walking in line, I might just get into it with some dude, and I just kind of make up some shit like fuck you, and I act like I'm asking you, fucking snitch ass motherfucker, eh? And so they look at me, they think two essays are fighting, so no one gets involved. And then we get handcuffed, and they might hear some shit like, "Oh, it's an Asian." Oh, like, "Oh shit, that motherfucker was Asian." I thought he was messing. And they're mad because they could have jumped me or something, but they didn't. But
yeah.
after a while, I think after about 8 months, then they just slammed us down, sent us to the hole and shit.
Hey, you know what? Come to think about it, man, let's keep PG and shit. People that are like half or at least like, for example, man, my boy Chaos, he's black, man, but he got in the hood. His name is Chaos. He was in the system during my time. We're the same generation. They call him Chaos because he's killing Asian boys on sight, and he was an active black dude. He went to the pin, and he still didn't run with the brothers, with the blacks. He chose to ride with the Paris, with the Filipinos. He was in the car. He was a new Folsom, and he was getting discriminated on. Let's just keep it G and shit, man. And the people that embraced him the most was the Pari car with PR, Sporty, and them. Shout out to Sporty. I heard about you, Pare. Good looking out. And he's like, those were the only ones that was really embracing him because he was riding the Jeff Rocks. And mind you, in the streets, uh, they fucking hate each other, the PR and Jeff Rocks, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But we're in prison now. We're a different world. So, anyways, yeah, man. So it's always gonna be harder for people that are like not, there's always gonna be some type of discrimination and shit, man. From the way I see.
Um,
Yeah.
I never experienced, but like I said, it's probably just I don't know, man. Like I've seen it in certain homies, but if you show doubt, maybe maybe you're just a regular person and you're half Asian, half white, or something like that, and on the street you hang out with everybody, and then let's say now you're in the system and you really don't really have no ties to either side of your ethnicity, so you have to choose in prison. But then now let's say you live with Asian dudes and they say, damn, this motherfucker whitewashed like a motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
Or vice versa. He picks a white dude, and they're like, man, this dude don't act like no regular white dude. Yeah, those guys are gonna have problems, because they're in a world that just is different than the outside world, right? And
Yeah.
so they weren't made for that. Where us being from neighborhoods, like I'm already from a neighborhood, motherfuckers already know me. If I got like your reputation precedes, so I never had no issues. That it's like, and if someone says something like, well, "What the fuck, motherfucker?" All right, I'm happy. What does that mean? I ain't got no choice of who my mom and dad is, motherfucker, but I'm right here. Like, what's up? And if you willing to ride more than this motherfucker, like, motherfucker, who the fuck are you to say anything? So it's kind of like, I don't know. I never had the issue, and no one ever said nothing about me. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially, I don't know, maybe I'm just likable. You're likable, so ain't no one gonna say nothing. Maybe if you're a dumbass and you're a fucking troublemaker and you're an idiot and you're a fucking asshole, then maybe all that might come up. They might use an excuse, but
Oh yeah, they
I
will.
mean, I never had that issue.
For real, man. That's what's up.
You
Yeah, so man, so you was in the county. What was your first mainline prison?
know? Calipatria.
Kalipa.
January '96, I hit Calipat AR,
Oh, okay, okay.
and the first dude I knew, I seen my homeboy Spider from TRG was on the AR, and then yeah, really that was, and then my boy Johnny from Watching was my celly.
Johnny from watching. It's not the same Johnny Chang that I don't know that we know of, right? It's a
Not
different
Johnny Chang. His name was Johnny. His
something.
last name was Wolf, but he knew kickboxing like a motherfucker, bro.
Damn, you know what? That's what I do regret, not knowing not that shit on. I should have practiced that in the Pinta.
Oh,
It
Johnny was a shit, bro.
was
I
it.
guess this clique, they had a kickboxing studio, so all him and his whole clique know kickboxing.
Oh, that's the business, man. That's the business.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Motherfucker be doing the splits in the cell like Van Damme. I'm like, man, what the fuck? I stand up on the bed. I'm like this and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I say, can you name some of the 4 yards or some of the prisons that you've been through, just to name a few?
Calipat, Salinas Valley, Centinela, uh, Ironwood, when I went home, Kern Valley. Those are the ones I was at.
Oh, okay, okay. How was
I
Kern
didn't
Valley?
get nothing. Huh?
How was Kern Valley? How was what year was it?
This is 2007, 2008.
Okay.
From 2007 to 2009. Shit, it was 180, bro. It was strict, bro. But I mean, I never had no problems when I was there. Just it was a 180 yard and it was brand new. So everyone else, I seen the essays were like getting to a lot of shit, cleaning up the yard. But as far as us, we didn't really have no issue with nobody. And there's always tension on the yard. You're in the level 4 prison, but as far as like we never had no incidents the 3 years I was there.
It's like around 2009. You was in Kern
Yeah,
Valley, bro.
I
I
left
think
2009. I left
2008.
February 2009. Yeah.
Man, you won't believe it. I think the next year, 2010, is when I was there in Kern Valley, is when we started the fucking war with the whites and shit.
Oh, was that on AR?
I think it wasn't. Yeah, I think it might be AR.
I left February, so I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was on lockdown. It was a long war. Supposedly the war started from either Salinas or New Folsom, because
Oh
there were
shit.
there were shoot kickouts and shit, and then it continued right
Okay.
here. And because the place or the area was also a new place where they were just establishing shit at the time too, right? Because it was a new
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And by the way, to those who don't know, this is where from what I know, I mean, people can correct me to those that were actually there, to those that are actually know the truth. But this is where the homeboy, Tongan homie, Joker from Lennox was riding with the I mean, the Mexican mafia, but he was hella cool with them. They trusted him. He had so much respect from them, to the point where when he asked to go home to his peoples, to the Asian Islanders, they let him go. And then
Oh shit.
and then the homies, they all loved him. They accepted him. And then he went home. And those are the first ones that started the war, the riot, kicked it off with the
Damn.
whites in the kitchen, you
I
know.
heard about Joker. I didn't know it was Kern Valley where he did that. Oh, that's good.
That's where he came home, supposedly. Yeah. Anyway, so bam. Which one do you like the most? I know. I mean, the most 4 yard or yard that you like,
Calipat.
Calipatra,
Calipat.
hands down.
Calipat, bro. It had the most weed, bro.
And you know what?
and,
You know what?
and we were pretty
Yeah,
huh.
go ahead.
And we were pretty deep. There was about 50 of us, so that was cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. I was in Calipatria too, right? B yard. I've been through all the blocks, 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, 4 block, 5 block, you know,
Yeah.
back and forth. And anyways, long story short, I enjoyed the yard and everything, but we always hear stories that Centinela is way better though.
I would have said Nilla, and I didn't. I don't. It wasn't better to me, bro, because in Nilla it was loose, bro. We kind of like we could get it. We got away with a lot of stuff. We could do whatever we wanted there for the most part, and but that's not good. Even though nothing happened, it was potential for a lot of shit to happen. There was like 3 or 4 times where shit could have really got bad. And looking back, honestly, at the age I am now, it was dangerous, bro, because we were young and there was no structure when we got there. It should have been more. If we had more structure, it would have been better for us. But it was a dangerous place because when you think you're aware of stuff, but looking back when you're older, like man, that shit could have went bad, real bad. But unfortunately, it didn't. In Calipat, there was structure. You didn't just do what you wanted. You minded somebody. So structure is a good thing, especially on the 4 yard.
Yes, sir. Understood. Understood. Yeah. So you guys are from the older generation, man. You guys basically paved the way for us, for my generation, to come through the system more comfortable. You know what I mean? You guys had, established the tables, the areas, the workout area, and of course, the more OGs way before your time also had put in work for fight for our real estate in the prison yard. What do you call this? What was it? At what point did you realize that you know what, this shit is for the birds, man? Fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Kind of regret, like, hey, I'm supposed to be outside in the free world with all the women and stuff like that. When did you
Yeah.
have the realization like this shit's stupid, man?
Um, 2007, bro, when I was in Kern, because I was in the hole.
Yeah.
And so my mom and my dad, they split up when I was like 5, right? So my mom was with my stepdad for years, but for some whatever reason, during this time, my mom and my dad hooked up again. And they were slanging dope downtown LA. And then they get busted within 2 weeks of each other. And so maybe like 4 or 5 months into their time, they both get to prison. My mom finds out she got cervical cancer. My dad finds out he got lung cancer. And
Damn.
I'm like, fuck. And so I was just in the hole thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, man, my mom and dad both got cancer, and I'm in this fucking hole. Like, and then I always thought I was gonna die in prison. I thought, oh, maybe they'll release me if I'm 60 or something. Like, I got cancer or some shit. But it was just when they realized, like, man, I don't want to die in this motherfucker, man. I need to do something else
Yes,
because it
sir.
got real at that point. And basically though, like 2009, my dad died in Corcoran. They didn't make it home. My sister was trying to get him released on that. They couldn't get the red tape. He died in Corcoran, and they
Oh,
shipped him home like 3 weeks later, like in a cardboard box, bro. It was like half wood, half cardboard or some shit,
oh,
bro.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
And then my mom, she actually got a compassionate release in 2010, and then they let her go. They let her go, and they said she had 6 months to live, and she died 6 months later out on the streets.
Hey.
But I got to visit her one time because like the whole time in prison, I only seen her one time because she's always on parole. So uh, when I got to Ironwood, they let me get one visit because at first they denied her, but I wrote to the warden. I said, "Look, man, my mom's dying." I said, "I've never had drug charges. I've never been a drug addict. I know my mom has, so I know that's your guys' your worry." I said, "But don't hold that against me. You know, let me just see my mom. You guys put me on potty wash, do whatever you want afterwards. I don't care." And the warden, bro, she actually overrode fucking CDC and she let me go out the visit. She said, "Don't fuck up." I said, "No, you won't. I'm not gonna fuck up. I gotta visit."
Hey, man. That's a
And I
lot.
think
Yeah.
after that visit, bro, I won 150%, bro. I told my I said, I'm gonna go home, bro. I'm gonna go home. Whatever I gotta do. And they weren't really releasing people at this time, but I just knew I wanted to, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Damn, bro, that's a lot. All the almost same timeline and shit. All that's just been happening. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And you know what? This reminds me. This reminds me. I've been having a lot of OGs, sellers and shit too, and a lot of them taught me a lot of shit in life, of course, from their experience. I could imagine us, being cellies. You could have taught me a lot of shit. You as a lifer, you see the world in a different area. A lot of my OG sellers were lifers. They've been through a lot too. As a matter of fact, what damn, I forgot his name, man. Fuck, bad with names. But anyways, he was a OG too. He had live too. He's out now. I think you should meet him also. We even had a Chakawala iguana in the cell. Yeah, yeah. We at night we would grab, what do you call this? What is that shit called? The crickets, to feed him,
Oh
shit.
yeah.
Yes, sir. And the reason why I said that we would have like a smooth time, because you being an OG with your experience in life and doing time as a lifer, and me just want to go home as a kid, you won't have any problems with me. I do my time as
Yeah.
disciplined as possible. I don't rack up debts. I'm not what I mean? I'm not one of those and shit. And
Yeah.
I will only bust a grape only if I have to, but I'm not looking out there, not looking for stupidity. I just want to go home. And I think me and you will probably just, what I mean?
Huh.
Be cool, just do our time, stay away out of the nonsense and shit, man.
Yeah, I think my whole time I think I didn't like just one of my cellies ever. It was just one of them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
What happened? What happened? If you don't mind.
he was Filipino, but he was like from Cerritos, and he was basically whitewashed, bro. Like, so it was kind of like I tried to hold nothing against him, but just he just bothered me, bro. Like, just little things he would do, just like stingy, or he don't want to share with homies. And I get it because he was just a regular person on the street, and but just his ways, man. I'm just like, oh, I can't stand this guy, bro. Yeah. I mean, I was immature though. I was on probably like 23 myself, but it was just like at that mentality, like, oh, this motherfucker, man, I can't stand him, bro. And he listened to rock music, and everything was just like, like, oh, I'm cool on this guy, bro. Because I was closed minded too. I only listen to rap music at that time. I didn't listen to other things, So just me being young and my closed mindedness, I wasn't trying to like this guy.
Yeah, you know what? In the yard, that's all we talked about is fucking checking with each other and how was it like and how is this fool? Is this fool cool or not? And how is this get down? And we try to find the best compatibility for whoever you want to kick it with and shit, man. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we stay started for like 4 months or something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, so fuck. So all of that was going through your head, bro. Like unimaginable, unspeakable things happen to your family, to your loved ones while you're doing time. That's when you start the realization that, fuck this bullshit. What was the transition that was helping you out to change your program to accomplishing shit, like, to try to make a little.
Um, well, like I said, I knew when I was in that hole, and then when my mom passed and all that. Yeah, because I told myself I wanted to make it home, but I wasn't able to make it home before she passed away. But I told myself I just want to make it home so she can look down and know I made it home. You see what I'm saying? And so that was like my first drive. But then I hit Ironwood, bro. And Ironwood, it was the first time I met people that, like, I never really been to no programs. I've been to like AA, NA, and Calipanos, and CGA, a little bit of CGA, but not like AVP and victims awareness. And so when we hit Ironwood, there's guys that been lifers that been running groups and stuff for years. So when we got into these groups, at first it was like, I want to go to a group. I need some certificates, right? But once you get into these groups, bro, you start learning shit, bro. Like you start like learning about yourself. For me, it was learning about myself. Um, like I did this thing called a timeline. I don't really want to get too much. Just kind of, it might take too much time explaining, but I did this timeline, and doing this timeline, looking back on your life, you think you know yourself. You think you lived your life, so you think you know yourself. On a timeline, you're writing all these little things down, and what happens is you start seeing patterns. Like, oh shit, that's where I got that from. Like, oh, that's crazy. And I shared like my first epiphany, right? Like I always hated cops, bro. Always got into with cops. Always talk shit to them. Always my homies get mad. I'm throwing bricks at them motherfuckers in the street. The homies, me making a spot on. I'm like, fuck these pigs. And I just hated them. But I never really knew where it stemmed from. But when I did my timeline, it was this, bro. I remember my mom would always say, "Don't trust the police. They lie. They're always out to get you." And I was like, "What the hell? She's crazy." I watched Chips, man. Poncherello's like the coolest motherfucker on TV, right? And so I was like, "What the hell is she talking about?" And so I remember, like, I was 7 years old, bro, and the cops broke into the house and they're looking for the drugs and stuff, right? And they couldn't find them. They pulled me to the side and they're like, "Look, we don't want to take your mom. We don't want to hurt her. We just don't want her to die from the drugs, like just tell us who the drugs are so we can take the drugs out of here." And I was like, "So you're not gonna take my mom to jail?" They're like, "No, just tell us what the drugs are." And I was like, "I think they're in the back." Bro, they got the drugs and handcuffed my mom, and I said, "Ooh, them motherfuckers are liars. Fuck these
Oh,
dudes." Now I know what my mom's, and from that day, bro, it was fuck the cops. And so it's just crazy. I never realized that until I did this timeline. And so when I recognized that, I said, "Well, shit. What other things? There might be some other shit I need to learn. Like if that's been there my whole time, what other ideas and chip on my shoulders do I have? I need to learn where this shit came from." And that's it. Just like the interest just to know about myself better, bro, was the like the fuel, bro, to keep going, to just learn more, bro, about myself. And like I said, when you put yourself in them groups, bro, even if you get a certificate, long you're in class, you're gonna learn something, bro. So I just learned so much, it just kept me going, bro. And once you educate yourself, bro, it's like you don't really want to go back to being dumb.
dang, that's just deep, man. That's just deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I'm sorry, and it went from like just
Yeah.
participating in all these groups to 2 years later, I was running the groups, bro. And then I got people coming up to me talking about, "Man, bro, without you, man, you're the one that helped me. You helped me change my life," and da da da. And it felt good because there were dudes. That's how I felt when I first went through the group. So I'm telling them like, "Bro, you changed my life." So to go from a mentee to a mentor, bro, that's a I don't know, it's a blessing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was gonna ask you, from all this growing and learning about yourself and self-development and getting certificates from pretty much everything, AA, NA, and all this
Yeah.
victim awareness that I'm not sure about all of them, but I heard of them.
Yeah.
But while you were doing this, while you're accumulating this, did you have any idea that this was gonna help in your
Well,
parole or?
yeah, I did. I did. That's what I mean. That's why I first started initially doing it because I know they want to see certificates. But once you're into it, then you're like learning like, damn, bro, certificate's nice, but I'm actually learning shit about myself. So you're talking to other people that go to board, so they're gonna tell you the game, like what you have to do, and like you see, you have to go to the board, you have to articulate yourself, you have to explain what you learned from that group. You go up there and say, this step one, this step two, that's step three. All right, cool, but how do you apply it to your life? What's your favorite step? And if you're not really doing that work, then you're not really gonna be able to have those answers. You could probably come up with an answer, but it's not gonna seem genuine because the one thing about the board I learned, they're smart, bro. Like the lady that was on my board, I read her whole background, and she was a teacher. She was in the army. She was a lieutenant. She got out that, and she was a real estate lady. She became a lawyer. I was like, fuck.
Damn.
Like this lady is sharp, bro. Like you ain't just fucking with dummies up there, bro. They might act like something, but they're sharp, bro. And if you think you're gonna sit in front, now you may be able to fool somebody sitting with them for 30 minutes, but you sitting there for 4 or 5 hours with them, bro. They're gonna see some shit. You're not gonna be able to fool them because little things are gonna come out. Like say, "Oh, how are you now? Do you think? Oh, I'm different now. I don't take things personal. It takes a lot to get me angry." And
Yeah.
so maybe 3 or 4 hours into the interview, she says something just outrageous, and then she sees this, and you're like, she's
Mm.
like, "Oh, no, I thought it took a lot to get you angry, huh?"
Mm.
See?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it's like, oh, okay, he's lying right there. Yeah, he does take things personal. So you, you just really have to change. Like I tell people, you want to go to the boardroom, go home, change. Go to groups, find out how to change.
Oh,
If you don't change, because if you don't change, bro, you're gonna come back. You can learn all the answers. That's the worst thing. I would hate to learn all the answers and
yeah.
then go up there and get out, but I haven't really changed. How am I going to deal with a situation that used to fucking trigger me? I'm going to react the same way. So shit, I don't want to go home like that.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that's deep right there. And you know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity also. Back then when I was a little kid, I mean I'm still young compared to the OGs, right? But back then on my younger days in Calipatra, I remember this crystal clear. I knew I knew that, I just wanted the free food or I just wanted to see what the fuss is all about. But really the Kairos, when they had the Cairo program and some of the homies convinced me to join because I really am a man of God. You know what I mean? I just wasn't banging it in prison like that. And when I was in Cairo, all these people that were doing their testimonies from the streets, they didn't have to actually go there. They're not really getting rich out of that. They just go in there just because they know, just because they're accumulating riches in the afterlife. And I just want to let these people know from Kairos that people like me appreciate that and it helped a lot. And while I was in there, I was inspired and it made a huge difference. And I was the whole time I was already a man of God, what I mean? And I was just stupid Mr. Know-it-all and shit. Yeah.
Man,
I mean that helps a lot. Those programs, yeah. So we appreciate y'all doing your thing and it's it made an impact. It made an impact on people like me. And shit. Yes, sir.
I,
So,
I like that. I like that you brought up God, bro, because I believe in God, bro. I wouldn't be out here today if it wasn't for God. Like, and even though I wasn't following him 100%, he was following me 100% my whole life. I could see that now.
oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, yes, sir. And I know you can relate because a lot of the OGs that's already been there, they can relate. It's just these little kids nowadays that they no longer believe, they no longer fear, they don't care, you know.
Bro, like what I'm about to say, I'm just gonna speak on about. It's something that it could be a whole nother interview, bro. But um, I thought I used to believe in God 100%. I thought I believed in him 100%. And then when I came home, I didn't watch celebrities or any of that stuff. I watched YouTube. I watched like how to fix a sink, how to do this, how to do that, right? And one day I was watching some shit about Corey Haines, right? He's a childhood actor that died. And I started seeing all this fucking shit about Hollywood. The people selling their souls and the evil shit, bro.
Yeah,
And I was like, what? Nah, these motherfuckers are crazy. And I just started, one thing about prison, bro, you're observant, bro. You watch everything. And I learned like, I don't take anybody for their word. I'm gonna listen to what you say. You can say something cool or take it with a grain. I'm gonna listen to other person's story. I'm gonna find the truth in the middle, bro. Ain't no one just gonna convince me or just trick me about anything. It takes a lot, right? And so I started investigating all this. I just started looking video after video after video. And I was like, this shit is fucking real. And I told my family, this shit's real. Like motherfuckers like really selling their soul like demons and shit. And they're like, oh yeah, yeah. And I was like, what you mean, yeah, yeah? This ain't driving you crazy. And so like people believe, but bro, like the more you talk about it, they think you're a conspiracy theorist, bro. But once you see it, bro, once you see it, bro. And there's no convincing me that the devil ain't real, bro, because that shit is fucking real. These motherfuckers are selling their soul for shit. and they're killing these kids, bro, and all this, bro. And it's crazy because once you see something like that, it 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 it, it fucks you up, bro, because it's like, damn, my whole life is like been tricked, you know what I mean? And like, and for the people that are racist or whatever, like, you think you hate each other? Bro, there's some evil shit going on, bro. Whatever your shit on, that ain't nothing, bro. And you got homies that think they're down. They think they're like, oh, I'm gonna be what the devil's right hand man. Motherfucker, Hitler and Genghis Khan, them motherfuckers killed millions of kids, bro. If you think you're gonna go and then you're gonna be some special place with the devil, you're a stupid motherfucker, bro. You ain't nobody. You're not even close to being evil, bro. These motherfuckers are evil, bro. And once you realize that, bro, you know that we're on the same. All of us are on the same team, bro. And I don't know, bro, but like I said, I want to go on a tangent, bro, but man, it's coming soon, bro. This shit's about to hit the fan, bro, and people are gonna be. I don't know, man. They're not gonna know what to do when it does, bro. But I don't know if you believe in that, but I do.
Yeah, me too, me too. Yeah, I believe in that. There's a time for that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a whole,
Yeah,
it's a whole new thing.
that's a deep one. We could have been in the cell talking about it the whole time and shit. You know what
I
I mean?
didn't know about this. Yeah, I didn't know about it until a couple years ago. Oh,
Yeah.
but trip on this, right? So I'm sorry. Back to God, like, um. So I got with my wife, right? My wife, I known her. She was my homeboy's little sister. And I wrote to her in prison, but we never had like a relationship like that. It was just like family, And then when I got out, I was in a program, and then she was gonna come down to see me. Oh, I told her family to come down because I was, but her family was in Arizona because they're native. They went to go see someone that passed away, so she came down to see me, and then we seen each other a few times, and then little by little we started messing around with each other. So we got married, and bro, we had like three miscarriages back to back. And she's like 9 years younger than me, so I was like, man, I don't know, I don't think this is gonna happen. And then ever since, bro, we had two kids. I have two sons now. After three miscarriages, I have a 2 year old and a 10 month
Oh,
old now. Yeah,
what's
and so
up,
that kind of
man?
changed my life now. And to advice out there, hey, bro, don't have kids when you're 49.
Yeah.
But where they wear me down, bro, man, they're crazy, man.
Don't wait that long.
Yeah, don't wait that long.
Damn. But so yeah, how was it like though? How was it like? Because you've basically lived, damn, for a long time in the system. How was it like getting paroled back to the streets? Did you get parole from the new law or just because of the
No, I went to board.
certificate? Oh, you
I
went
went
to
to the
board.
parole board.
So
It was a lot to learn, bro. Like technology, I know about technology. It's not like we're in Russia prison underground. Like we see have TVs, we know what's going on, but we haven't really experienced it. Like give you an example, when I was in the R&R getting released, the cop was the CO was like, all right, look, I'm gonna give you this card. It has all the money that was on your books plus $200. He said all you gotta do is put a PIN number in there. I said okay, what's a PIN number? He said, a PIN number, like so you
yeah,
can use it. I said, and I was like, what do you mean? He's like, like only a number you know. I said, oh, like a security number or something? He's like, yeah. I
yeah.
said, oh, okay. So the things that are common knowledge were common knowledge to me because I never needed to know that kind of stuff. Um, I remember I remember going up to the hotel, like when the third day I was out, I was in the hotel, just had to go to the restroom, and I went to go wash my hands, and they had the soap dispenser. And I was doing like this. I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "So turn on, dispense." What? Turn on, and it didn't do nothing. I said, "Oh, it must be broken." And so the guy next to me, he came up and he put his hand under it, and I was like, "Oh!" So then I was like, "Put my hand." Oh, okay, that's how you do it. So like little things like that. Knowledge, bro, I didn't know. In the program, I never. Okay, look, the whole time in prison, I've only held a flip phone, like 3 times. A
Yeah,
flip
yeah.
phone. That's it. So to get my day after I got like a regular, I got a Samsung, a smartphone, and we're all talking to young kids in program. Hey man, how you do this? How you do that? And then okay, they showing us how you. Like, you've been out a long time. I said, yeah, they never had this shit, man. I got arrested. I had a beeper. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I can relate, man. I was a yeah, we're straight caveman and shit, man. Got out.
But I did do this 3 years before I got out. I went to the office services class in Ironwood. I took office services so I could learn like Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and I became a TA in that class because I wanted to learn everything on the computer. I didn't even know how to type at that point. I came out typing 70 words a minute. So I was trying to get prepared to come home. You know, I knew I needed to know those skills, so I didn't just wait to get home. I got on that while I was in there, you know.
Yeah, that's what's up,
But
man.
I wasn't ready for society, bro. How much society changed. I wasn't ready for a fucking soccer mom to flip me off in traffic. Like, what the fuck?
No.
And I was like, damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Like, I'm the first one to say, excuse me, go ahead, and pardon
yeah,
me,
yeah,
my bad. Motherfuckers bump into you, don't say nothing. You
yeah.
honk at them because they almost hit your car, and not like a long honk, like he's like honk, and then like fuck you. I was like, fuck me, fuck me. So I wasn't ready for that. Like, damn, these people are crazy out here, man. Shit.
Oh, we gotta have long patience here in the real world because we're not your ordinary people anymore. OG, we're far from the, ordinary and shit, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, we gotta show patience. But how long have you been out now, though?
This is my 10th year.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up, man.
It's my 10th year. I'm gonna put in for my pardon pretty soon. You had to be out of jail for 10 years. You can ask for the pardon from the governor. So my
Ooh.
record, yeah, I want that, bro.
And there you go, man. 10th year in the free world. Never came back.
You
Never even think about fucking coming back with that stupidity and shit. Unlike these
know?
people, man. Unlike these people. So who you gonna believe? Somebody that just been doing good, been out for a long time, or just like got out like 2 months ago, talking about whatever, whatever. You still got a lot of rice to eat, man. Still gotta go through have a lot of patience, especially, women flipping you off and shit, the road rage and shit or something, man.
Yeah, it's the learning experience, bro. Like, I try to stay away from dumb people, but at the same time, like I was going inside prisons and doing that when I first got out. But I don't know, man. I just get involved in other ways, bro. Like my wife doesn't like it, but I could be going down the street and I see like a group of youngsters about to get into. I jump out, bro. I get right into the middle of it. And I've seen sometimes where it was like like five Mexican kids that were like 12 or 13, and they're gonna take a bike from like three little black kids that were like 8 or 9 years old. And I've seen it vice versa
Mm.
the roles. And I
Yeah,
just get
yeah,
involved, bro. And like people don't want to get involved because they're scared. I get it, but you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to, man, because no one gets involved, no one helps nobody no more, bro. And
Oh,
I'm the kind of person that if I don't get involved and I hear the next day that that kid got murdered and the other kid got thrown in a police car, gonna go to away for 25 years of life,
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna feel too good. Like, man, that's my fault, man. I should have fucking got involved, man. I should have helped him. I should have did something.
Oh,
Even if
damn.
it's like, hey, stop that shit.
Yeah,
Pull
yeah,
out my
yeah.
phone, act like I'm reporting. Hey. Whatever you got to do just to stop it in that moment, bro, because no one cares no more, bro. So so
No,
so I can approach things with love, bro. That's it. That's the way to
no,
do
no.
it.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck. And I appreciate that, OG, for you know what I mean. That these people do not understand what you know what I mean. A lot of these people don't understand, but I understand. I understand where you're coming from and shit, man. And there's people that are like us that understand where we're coming from as well and shit. So we're doing the righteous thing. So what was the hardest thing that you had to adjust after doing that stretch after you got
Um,
out?
I say society, bro. Society, because I worked at a gas station during the pandemic, and I worked in a Torrance area where people had tattoos on their face. I had no problems with them dudes. Then my boss sent me to Redondo, where it's all rich people, and I got these motherfuckers throwing candy at me in the store, calling me names and shit every day because I told them they got to put on a mask. And so it was like, bro, I could be a bitch 2 times a day. I can't be a bitch 3 times a day, bro. Like I can't get punked every motherfucking day. So there were times where I was just like, oh, I want to hurt one of these dudes, bro. And like one time, I didn't trip out the older dudes, the younger dudes, but one dude, this dude was stocky. I think he was a cop too. And he's like, we could take it outside. I said, man, you ain't said shit, motherfucker. What's up? And so he went outside. I went outside, and that fool ran to his car. And then I walked back in the store and I said, what the fuck was I doing? I got caught up in the moment. So I got lucky that he ran to that car because I was already like in the zone, bro. Like already gonna do something to him. As soon as I walked the door, like there ain't no, you know what you're gonna do. So when he ran, I was like, oh shit, let me get back in the store. And I was like, oh shit, now he's gonna tell me. I was scared. I was like, oh man, what can I tell? I gotta come up with a story if the police come. Can I delete the camera? And I just told myself, it was like a check, like, damn, bro, like I get it. I mean, it wasn't just, it was like days and days of people talking shit. And that day was like 4 dudes that already talked shit. So it was a lot on me. So, but I had to check myself that says, wow, I really let a motherfucker get to me to go get in a fist fight out here, bro. And I think that was the closest I came to like getting in trouble. But that was like a reality check where that I kind of needed to say, like, you gotta watch yourself, man. You can't let these dudes get you angry because there's dudes out here, they talk all this shit. And you're like, okay, I don't want a problem. And they keep on going. And then when you say do something, then they pull the phone and tell on you. It's like, oh man, what the fuck? So I just have to tell myself, look, they don't know that they don't know who I am. Just whatever, just let it go. So I don't know. It's hard, but you have to if you want to keep your freedom, you know. Because you know when the police come, you're the one going to jail, not them. I didn't know nothing. They just attacked me for no reason.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You know, yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, it's not even it's not worth it. These people don't know. There's no honor in the streets, man. They don't people don't believe in type of shit like that, man. You know, yeah, that's the problem. And we gotta mix with these people. We we live here now.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah,
I laugh. I tell them, you can have the streets now. I don't give a fuck. Keep
yeah,
them. I got a key to my door. I got see when we were teenagers, I have nowhere to be. I didn't have no apartment. I was a teenager. I go on the street. But I got an apartment now. I don't got to be outside.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
so
got somewhere to go.
that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I feel you on that one. You know, you gotta keep your patience. Not the same people don't know you and just let just a bunch of dumb kids. But right now on the present, OG, what you got going on right now? Like, you got anything new, exciting in your life right now? What you been keeping you busy and shit?
Well, my kids, bro, like I would had a job, bro. I was making 70,000 a year. But
Oh,
then when my wife got pregnant, I couldn't keep that job because that job was going to require me to be gone for 5 days, come home for 2 days. And so I started working at a overnight at a like drug rehab facility, and I'm still there because of the hours. You know, like I get home, my wife goes to work, and because we're not gonna do daycare like that. You know, fuck all that. When they go to school, they can do daycare, but we don't need people watching our kids. You know, we don't trust people. So I'm like the stay-at-home dad. So it's fucked up because when I get home, my kids are waking up. So they'd be like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Sleep." They'd be like, "No." So I gotta stay with my kids for like the first 4 hours until they get tired enough to take a nap. And I'm taking a nap with them and shit. And so I'm just loving that because a lot of dads they don't get to enjoy that, bro. A lot of dads go to work and all. So I go to work, but I get to enjoy the kids all day, you know. And so I understand what moms go through. You know, I think a lot of moms are full of shit. But
no
my
wonder.
mom, my boys love me, bro. Huh, they love me the most because I'm with them all day.
Yeah, yeah. No wonder why you
And then,
mentioned earlier.
huh?
No, I said, no wonder why you mentioned earlier, man. You better get your kids at a younger age if you can. Shit.
Yeah,
But
but I be old school. I grab them, I throw them on the bed, bro. We're doing wrestling moves, and they don't care. The 2-year-old, he's crazy. That fool, he'll jump on top of the couch. I'm like, wait, and he just dive. And I had to like want to catch him. So then, hey man, don't do that unless there's pillows right there. He don't listen because there's no fear. I said, these guys are crazy, man.
that sounds like for me too. I got kids too, OG, and I appreciate that. I think it's the blessing that was given to us because God knows what the things that we've been through, time we wasted in the hole in the shoe and lockdown, and now looking at playing with our kids is so freaking priceless and shit, man. That a lot of people take it for granted. They don't understand. Damn, OG, man. So before we shake the spot, do you have any personal message out there for the world?
My personal message, bro, is just change is possible, man. Um, a lot of ex convicts who are getting out of prison have this stigma about us, bro. But people don't realize that people change. You know, I'd rather deal with a person that is messed up and done a gang of stupid shit in their life that's changed because they know the consequences of that. Compared to a person that's lived a perfect life, that's never did anything, he's still open up to fucking up, bro, because he hasn't even experienced no consequences, and that's what people understand. You judge me compared to this guy. Well, just wait. We'll see if he makes any mistakes. But like fucking with us, man, like we might be rough around the edges, but like we're like loyal to like a default, bro, like to that's detrimental to like I said like this. I have an adage, like a saying I made up, right? I said, there was a time in my life where I used to do things that made me feel good. Now I do things that make me feel good about myself. That's a difference, bro. So I used to smoke weed. I used to go steal. I used to go do this. I used to do things that the homies give me, accolades and pat me on my back for being bad. I did things because that stuff made me feel good because I wasn't doing nothing good in my life. I wasn't going to school, getting good grades, or making money, or accomplishing things, or helping people. So I had to do things to make me feel good. But now, living my life, the things I do, it made me feel good about myself because I'm helping people. I'm doing the right thing. I'm raising my kids. I don't need to go to those other things to make me feel good. I already feel good about myself because I'm a good person. I'm accomplishing things. I'm responsible. So I don't need to go outside myself to find the bullshit because I'm good. Now, if I wasn't doing nothing, just being a loser, then yeah, I probably have to turn those things for something to make me feel good. But do the right thing. I'm good every day now.
Hey, you couldn't have said it any better, OG. Yeah. Yeah, good looking at man. I know this is just the tip of the iceberg, from everything, but at least people got an idea. It's always been real recognized real right here in the channel. This is, from real life experience and shit, man. And some people they like this real shit, and thank you very much for your time, sharing your wisdom, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience. And you already know, it's, if you want to come to the Philippines, I'm your guy too and shit.
I
Yeah,
do. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. I really enjoyed being on this show, man. Hope I didn't talk too long and go off on fucking tangents and shit, man. I do that sometimes, bro.
yeah, yes, sir. I think we did great. We shared a lot of good points, the important parts. And like I said again, appreciate your time. And with that being said, you'll know what time it is. Say what you mean and mean what you say, because real recognize real, huh, boy? Yeah.
Love you, bro. Cool.